It's a day of hectic developments taking place in Chennai. AIADMK's Education Minister Maffoi K. Pandeyarajan has switched camps. Till 2 days back, he was meeting the Governor Vidyasagar Rao and canvassing for Sasikala to take over as Chief Minister. And today, he is at the O. Paneerselvam camp. Is there panic now in the Sasikala camp? She's just written a letter to the governor, and there is one line what she's spoken which is very, very interesting. Sasikala has said, we are showing patience in the interest of democracy, but we have so much patience. After a point, we will do what is required. And that has sent alarm bells ringing. But the latest developments, those are images that you see, exclusive images of India on India Today, of that plush resort near Mahabalipuram at Kanchipuram, where you have about 100 odd MLAs locked up. Now, are they locked up? Are they there out of their free will? There is an intense debate. The Paneerselvam camp says they are locked up against their will. The Sasikala camp says they are there on their own, where they're strategizing about the road ahead. But the big story, big story is K. Pandeyarajan now at O. Paneerselvam's residence. Is this a change of heart, or is this reacting to what the cadre wants?
In their attempts, the party is together.
Okay, I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Shiv Arur and Akshita Nandgopal. Akshita is at O. Paneerselvam's residence. Shiv Arur is at Poise Garden. Shiv, is this a change of heart? Any explanation from Pandeyarajan? The 9th of February, he was meeting the Governor Vidyasagar Rao, wanting the party General Secretary Sasikala to be sworn in as Chief Minister as soon as possible. And 11th of February, he's at O. Paneerselvam's residence, Shiv.
It's an amazing switchover, Gaurav, perhaps the most dramatic switchover so far in what has been a trickle of crossing overs over the last few days. Pandeyarajan is a huge source of embarrassment for the Sasikala party this afternoon, especially for those reasons that you just listed out. He's the State Education Minister, one of the first and most influential AIADMK ministers to throw in his lot with the Sasikala camp, and now, openly crossing over after putting out that tweet that he would listen to the voice of the voters, providing that first indication that he was having this dramatic change of heart. And now, in the OPS embrace, as it were, is something that is a huge source of morale for the OPS camp and a massive source of embarrassment and anger, really, for the Sasikala camp. Now, Sasikala's quote that you just read out from that speech to visitors and cadres at Vedanilayam, saying that we have patience up till a point, but after that we know what we have to do, is a threatening, very aggressive thing to say at a time when she's written to the governor saying that in the interest of democracy, he needs to take a decision right now. And at the same time, parallelly making that speech saying our patience is not infinite is an extremely aggressive thing to do. I want to bring in Akshita Nandgopal quickly in on this, Gaurav, and ask her to get us a sense of what's the scene at O. Paneerselvam's residence. Akshita, celebrations had broken out there. Crowds have swelled at OPS's residence as well. You had Paneerselvam making a speech where he thanked the media, thanked his supporters, which is something he did yesterday as well. Are we expecting to see some kind of a joint statement by OPS and Pandeyarajan?
OPS did speak, Shiv, so did Maffoi Pandeyarajan. But before I give you details of what they said, I want to quickly show you what's happening around me. A lot of activity really with supporters coming together at O. Paneerselvam's residence. Many of them, hundreds really, had gathered here, bursting firecrackers. They believe that they've got a lot of the numbers on their side now. We've seen 2 MPs joining their side. We've seen, of course, as you pointed out, Maffoi Pandeyarajan also, who's now had a change of mind. He's now switched to OPS He tweeted rather mysteriously earlier today, and that has led to quite a bit of speculation on whether he was planning to switch to O Pannirselvam's side. Now, earlier, just a few minutes ago, they were inside speaking. We saw O Pannirselvam thanking everyone for coming together and with a lot of humility saying that, the kind of support that we've received is unprecedented. I would like to thank all the well-wishers for coming together and backing me. Besides that, also, we saw Pandeyarajan speaking out very similar to what he tweeted out, Shiv. He said that whatever it takes to protect Amma's legacy and to carry it forward, I will do that for the people of Tamil Nadu. A crisp statement, a shock statement by Pandeyarajan, where once again he's maintained what he said in his tweet, that he will only work to carry forward Jayalalitha's legacy. Whichever camp does that better, he will take that forward. As far as Sashikala Natarajan is concerned, Shiv, she will be meeting the governor today. She's expected possibly to also head to the Jaya Memorial, but we will get a confirmation on that in just a bit. But what's interesting, Shiv, is that she no doubt will be in a hurry, because what we're witnessing is that with every passing hour, more and more leaders are now coming over, are now defecting to the OPS camp, which is why she is now asking the governor to act fast to take a decision, because time is clearly of the essence here, and it's clearly doing her no favors that the governor is taking his own time. Many more leaders are expected to join Pannirselvam's side, but the question is, will this translate to MLA numbers as well? Because at the end of the day, it will come down to a floor test in the assembly, and it will be the MLAs who matter in this particular case. MPs have joined. We've seen Pandeyarajan coming in, so that no doubt is a big boost. But as far as Pannirselvam's claim of 50 MLAs is concerned,
yes,
that is yet to happen. Yesterday, a former union minister who joined hands with Pannirselvam said 35 MLAs are coming on his side. That too has not yet happened. So, once we possibly see some sort of communication from the MLAs who are holed up at the Golden Bay Resort, we'll possibly get to know if any of them are planning to switch sides to O Pannirselvam, because none of them are really reachable at this point. So you really can't communicate with them to find out which side of the fence they're on.
Absolutely correct. The thing is, you've got Sasikala offering to bring her MLAs with her and demonstrate the strength and the support that she enjoys among the legislators in front of the governor. She sought that meeting with Governor Vidyasagar Rao, but we don't know if that meeting, that appointment has been provided just yet by the governor's office. We'll be getting that information to our viewers in a short while. I also want to bring in India Today's Revati, who is right outside Veda Nilayam here at Poise Garden in Chennai, where Sasikala lives. Revati, Sasikala entered Veda Nilayam on Thursday evening. I was here when that happened. It was shortly after a meeting with Governor Vidyasagar Rao on that particular day. We understand from your sources, Revati, that she might be going out to the Jaya Memorial once again at Marina Beach, Revati.
Well, yes, Shiv, right behind me there are several cadres who are waiting. VK Shashikala is expected to come out anytime soon, and people here tell me that she might be going to the Jaya Memorial, and like we have reported, she has returned to the governor as well, seeking an appointment to meet her and the MLA. So if that is the case, then we remember last time also she went to the Jaya Memorial first and placed an envelope there of the list of MLAs, and then met the governor. So perhaps this could be one such move, or we can also not rule out the possibility of her going and meeting the MLAs, because she has sought an appointment with the governor, and she might want to discuss, talk to the MLAs as well. So we could not rule out the possibility that she will move out and meet the MLAs as well, who is lodged at a resort outside Chennai, or perhaps she is going straight to the Jaya Memorial before she meets the governor.
Absolutely. Akshita, I want to come back to you quickly on this. The Jaya Memorial has become a bit of a Tahrir square as far as this flashpoint is concerned. It's not just the Marina Beach, but the Jaya Memorial. We've seen our cameras trained on that location twice in the last 5 days. Started on Tuesday night with O Pannirselvam, the person whose residence you are at. Then you saw on Thursday evening Sasikala going there right before her meeting with the governor. She might be going there as well. This invocation, Akshita, of the legacy of Amma is something that unites both Sasikala and O Pannirselvam. They've got huge divisions. They hate each other. They are arch rivals. They're calling each other traitors and murderers. But the Amma legacy is something that neither person wants to let go of, Akshita.
Absolutely, they're both battling from that front shift. They're both firing salvos, invoking Amma's name in a larger sense. And it, I think, started with O. Pannirselvam. The fact that he went to that memorial and very symbolically sat there meditating and then came out and spoke of a revolt, spoke about how he was forced to resign, really took Sashikala, by surprise. It put her on the back foot to a large extent because of the number of times he invoked Amma's name, said that, it was pricking his conscience, that he came there to meditate and speak to her soul. All of that definitely did hit Sashikala badly. So I think this is an attempt to really cover up for all the damage that was done in the last few days. This is the second time, if she does go to the Jaya Memorial, that Sashikala Natarajan will be there. The last time, 2 days back, we saw her shedding tears. A very emotional Sashikala Natarajan also placed a letter, a document really that had all the MLA's signatures on it, saying that they do back her. She placed that there. So today we'll have to wait and watch to see exactly what unfolds if she does visit the Jaya Memorial, because after that she's expected to visit the governor. For her, time is clearly running out. Things are slowly working against her at this point. So she will be praying for some sort of change, hoping for some sort of a miracle, hoping that more people do not defect over to the O. Pannirselvam camp and do not turn up here in huge numbers like we've been witnessing over the last few hours.
Absolutely, and those numbers appear to only be swelling, don't they, Akshita? Revati, I want to quickly come back to you at this point. Do we have a fix on the time when Sashikala may be leaving from her residence towards the Jaya Memorial, if at all? And do we also have a fix from the people you've been speaking to, Revati, whether an appointment has been received? Has she gotten that appointment? We know she's asked for one from the governor, but she got it?
Well, there is no information on whether she has received a response from the governor's office in terms of her appointment or the time that she has asked for. But she is expected to come out any minute. That's the sense we're getting here outside where the Nilayam, the guards, the security guards outside are all set. They are making way for her to come out, asking people to move aside and leave some space. So right outside where the Nilayam, the sense is that any minute she will be out. But usually her plans are very quick, and she might come out anytime soon, not a fixed timing or plan as such. But as far as the governor's appointment is concerned, no, there has not been any response as far as we know, Shiv.
Right, so no response just yet. Akshita, do we have any information on that just yet? About whether the governor's office has given Sashikala an appointment?
Well, not really sure, but the fact that she is heading to the Raj Bhavan, I think, indicates to a large extent that the governor has agreed to see her, has granted her some time, because she's not just written a letter, she will now be personally approaching him to put forward her concerns. On day one, when she met the governor, when he landed here in Chennai, she had expressed concerns about the timing, about the fact that action needs to be taken ASAP, because she said that there was a threat of horse trading, that she believed that some of her MLAs could be taken away from her, and she leveled a horse trading charge against the chief minister. So there's no doubt that she will be pushing that further along. She will possibly be submitting some sort of proof to the governor, requesting him to act at the earliest, because going by what reports have been saying, going by what sources have been suggesting, the governor could be taking his own sweet time. He could be waiting for the weekend to pass. Possibly next week is when we'll see a decision taken by him, and possibly only after the DA case verdict. And with, of course, every passing hour, it comes as a big blow to Sashikala Natarajan. So she will, of course, be wanting to speak to the governor personally, express all these concerns to him as well. And we'll have to wait and watch, Shiv, to see exactly how the governor also responds to this. Will he then speed up the process? Will he expedite the process of choosing the next chief minister of Tamil Nadu? Or will he continue to bid his own time? Will he continue to stick to his method of waiting until possibly the weekend passes, waiting to see exactly what kind of legal, constitutional ramifications take place before taking a hasty decision?
Okay, we're going to keep our eyes focused on Vedanilayam right now, where Revati is standing with her camera unit. I can tell you that in a bare moment from now, Sasikala will be departing from her residence here at Boyce Garden in Chennai and likely heading towards the Jaya Samadhi at Marina Beach. Revati is taking it out right outside the gate of Vedanilayam. We're going to slip into a very, very quick break. You're going to come back right in time to get those live images and these big developments from both Boyce Garden and the O Pannirselvam camp. And don't forget, we've got a drone in the air above the Golden Bay Resort giving you a bird's eye view of that luxury hotel where all of those Tamil Nadu MPs are currently holed up. Right now, we're broadcasting live from Boyce Garden where Sasikala lives, and there are all indications that she will be leaving very, very shortly and be driven towards the Marina Beach where the Jaya Samadhi is. She'll be sitting there for a while before she perhaps meets with the governor to parade her MLAs and demonstrate her support. Here at Boyce Garden, things are getting a little bit more hectic in preparation for Sasikala leaving, but the real energy today is at the O Pannirselvam camp. They've got reason to exude confidence. There is a celebratory atmosphere on Greenways Road in Chennai, right outside the acting Chief Minister's residence. Akshita Nandagopal, our reporter who's been right there staking it out since the morning and really getting us the best images of that celebration, is with me live from right outside that residence there on Greenways Road. Akshita, K. Pandeyarajan, you know, the big thunderbolt from the blue as far as Sasikala is concerned, jumping ship, senior minister, seen to have been one of the most influential leaders in the AIADMK, putting in his lot with Sasikala, now so, you know, explicitly jumping ship. His explanation is that he will do everything he can to keep the AIADMK as one, which is a little ironic given that there are very clearly two factions now, Akshita, and it doesn't appear even in the least bit feasible or likely that they'll ever come back together again. Take us through what happened when Mr. Pandeyarajan came.
Well, I think it all started this morning, Shiv, with a very cryptic tweet from Pandeyarajan where he said that he will listen to what the people want and whatever it takes really to carry forward Amma's legacy. That led to a lot of speculation on whether he was planning to jump ship, whether he's planning to join OPS's guard. That was confirmed when we saw his convoy coming in here to O Pannirselvam's residence. So what a blow it is really to Sasikala Natarajan, because Mafa Pandeyarajan has been someone who has been very vocally in support of Sasikala Natarajan, one of the big ministers who also has a huge support here in Tamil Nadu. He was, of course, the victim of quite a bit of trolling on social media when he chose to support Sasikala Natarajan, also slammed the methods that were taken up by O Pannirselvam, interestingly enough, over circulating phone numbers of MLAs as well as other representatives. But it looks like he's had a change of heart. What's triggered it? Well, we can all ask our questions, but as far as Mafa is concerned, he maintains that it's because he believes that O Pannirselvam will be the best option for Tamil Nadu and to carry forward Jayalalitha's legacy, which he has been harping on since morning, not just in his tweet, but here in his speech as well at Greenways Road.
And in that direct warning, you know, which may be interpreted by some as a threat to the O Pannirselvam camp, Sasikala in her speech to supporters at Vedanilayam today actually said, we have patience up till a point. After that, we know what to do. Whatever that to do is, we don't know. But Sasikala has given out her first dire direct warning to O Pannirselvam himself and those he's now surrounded by, including K. Pandeyarajan.